In the face of the girl's inquiry, the boy looks on with indifference and denied that he hadn't done it. The woman told him she wouldn't report him. The boy was touched. He felt instantly that someone still cared about him. One afternoon, they went swimming together. The boy walked ashore happily, looking at the woman sitting leisurely on the grass. The boy happily invited the woman to join him in the water. The woman was scared and slowly went into the water. One afternoon, the boy sat in the garden and smoked a cigarette. The woman saw his tattoo. She was very curious. The boy took the woman's hand and looked at it. Then he tattooed the woman's arm. One day the boy's father invited some friends over for a dinner party. The woman was distracted at the party. It was hard for her to fit in. She drank alone. Then she sat alone on the stairs to kill her boredom. At that moment, the boy was going out on his bike. The woman immediately followed him. On the way, the woman hugged the boy tightly. The two of them smiled and ran wildly. Then they arrived at the bar together. The woman took a sip of her drink. Then she looks at the boy with a smile. They chatted together. They talk about men and women. In the park, the boy looks down at the woman and asks her if she needs a beer. And then he lies down and hands the woman a beer. They listened to the music together. They talked together. The boy wanted so much to know the woman's heart, so he couldn't help but kiss her. Afterwards, the woman regretted it very much. In the woods, the woman looked at the boy with horror. She was afraid that their affair would be exposed. It would affect the harmony of the family, so she hoped the boy wouldn't tell anyone. She made up her mind to break off the relationship. Later in the afternoon, the husband told the woman, in order to ease the relationship between father and son, he wants to take his son away for a week. The woman is shocked to hear this. Her heart was in turmoil. She was afraid that the boy would say something. That day, the woman drove her car without a care in the world. But when she came home, she was surprised to see that her husband had come home early. At night, her husband looked at her calmly. He told her about his son. But the woman stared at her husband and shot back at her husband with a stern look. She told him that the boy was responsible for the last burglary. The man apologized to his son. He apologized to his son for not being a father to him all these years. But as for the dark room incident, he blamed his son. He shouldn't have lied. The boy looked at his father and the woman angrily and asked the woman to admit her mistakes. Otherwise it would be hard to accept women in the future. Looking at the boy with tears in his eyes, the woman whispered to him, "It's okay to admit you lied. Everyone will forgive him." And so the boy was sent away by his father. One day, the boy stormed into the woman's office. He demanded that the woman confess her crime to his father. Otherwise, he would report the woman to the authorities. Soon after, in order to prove himself, the boy got a lawyer. The lawyer said he could now file a lawsuit to trace the woman's legal responsibility. The woman wanted to fool around, but the lawyer was too tough. The woman had no choice but to settle. At night, she heard a knock at the door. The woman went downstairs to talk to the boy. She went downstairs to talk to the boy. She looked at the drunken boy. The two were together again.